Keith Thurman returned with a vicious knockout and called out Errol Spence Jr. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Hassan's Hits. If you're an OG boxing fan, you know we've been waiting for this one. Errol Spence Jr. versus Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman returning with a vicious knockout against the up-and-comer Brock Jarvis, who, had a great knockout rate and came into this fight as somewhat of a prospect at 27 years old. But all of that was put to a stop by the former champion, Keith Thurman.
At the end of the day, I'm open to any contract right now. Tim Tszyu's not finalized. I know it's very easy to say, it's very easy to talk about. He obviously came off of 2 losses. He needs to get a W, right? I'm over here at Darling Harbor staying at the W. It's a big old W, and Tim Tszyu, he needs to go get his W, okay? So at the end of the day, that's very important. And I can't say without a doubt that if a great contract was to come to me from the U.S., that I wouldn't sign it and not really hold interest in Tszyu.
I'll get to the Errol Spence call out in a second, but the fight itself was amazing because Keith Thurman, fought like a former champion. He stood in the pocket with Jarvis, and knowing that Jarvis was the younger and more hungry fighter, we saw a lot from Keith Thurman out in Australia. He showed a lot. He set up the knockout punch with a body punch that, had Brock Jarvis wincing. And then that combination finishing with the uppercut. A sensational knockout. Errol Spence Jr. looking for a dance partner. We've been hearing about Fundora for quite some time. Errol Spence Jr. in and out of injuries, but we got to see how he looks, right? And now, this is what I mean by this is a perfect matchup. If you're an OG boxing fan, you remember 2017, 2018, 2019, we were supposed to get Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence Jr.
And with Keith Thurman, he's going to stay injured as long as I keep winning. So, I don't think me and him ever going to fight. If he mess around, retire, I get that WC belt.
Well, Sean and Keith, what's your reaction to it? I know you respect Mikey and for what he's trying to accomplish, but what does it mean to you to see the best welterweight in the world instead of fighting one of the 2 other welterweights fighting Mikey?
Well, first off, each one of these fights is a great fight for Errol Spence. Okay? So, and outside of that, I don't know what happened with negotiation with Sean. But obviously, when I'm healthy and I'm ready, from beginning, when I stepped on the scene, I said I wanted this belt. I said I wanted that belt. I told you guys I want to grab all the belts, So I'm still on a mission, but my health comes first. In boxing, there are times where what you want today, you're not going to get today. But you can still look forward to tomorrow. Luckily today, I think this is a tremendous fight that's going to happen. I think this is a big opportunity for all of us in working with Fox, and I truly look forward to that up-and-coming fight. I look forward to getting back into the ring, establishing myself as the #1 welterweight champion in the world, getting this belt back, and then negotiating for that big fight with Errol Spence, the one he thinks he'll never get. I'm not Floyd Mayweather, son.
We were also supposed to get back then Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., which we did end up seeing. But we have not seen Errol Spence Jr. versus Keith Thurman. And, we might be like, hey, they're both over the hill. What's the point now, right? Not quite. Errol Spence Jr. got beat down by an all-time great, Terrence Crawford, who I said for years was going to do just that, right? Not to take anything away from him, right? He can come back from that. It was an incredible beatdown that took a lot out of him. Errol Spence Jr. has went through a lot, as far as injuries, the car accident, all these things, right? He's got the eye problem, a lot to deal with. Now you enter into the equation Keith one-time Thurman. He's been, out of the ring for quite some time. He beats the brakes off of an up-and-comer in Brock Jarvis. But what does he really look like against a great fighter like Errol Spence Jr., who also is on the decline? And, we don't know what he's going to look like in his next fight. So we got two guys that are, complete unknowns at this point. Two former champions that were supposed to face off years ago, but it didn't happen.
Do you regret not taking that Spence fight when it was on the table? When
It was never on the table. It just got on the table. This is the BS you guys don't understand, okay? You talk about, oh, he did this, he did that. He ain't do okay, back in the day. Just because he said my name on a microphone on TV did not make Al Heyman present Keith Thurman with a real contract. It never happened till earlier this year, and I already signed it. So you want the truth? The truth is Keith Thurman signed his contract. Errol Spence didn't sign his. And Keith Thurman never got a contract in the past. I've never ducked anybody, okay? But I've been ducked. And when you win, when you lose, but you need another pay-per-view, you better not duck me, son. I'm still here. I'm still valid. And I'm coming for everybody.
But we can see it right now. I feel like this needs to happen next, right? It's a huge fight. It doesn't need too much of a build-up. It will sell a lot of pay-per-views. And I would love to see this more than, Spence versus Fundora or Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu, who is on a slide currently, 2-fight slide. I'm sorry. I want to see this. I want to see Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence Jr. in 2025. And I just want to see who can continue their career and who might have to call it quits, because that's what we're going to find out if these two face off. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, share. I appreciate it. Peace.